My name's Cole King. I'm from a little town south of Anderson, Indiana. I started collecting in the 8th grade, so about 8 or 9 years now. We had to do a school report, and it was Industrial Revolution, and mine ended up being on the telegraph. And I was reading about the telegraph and all that. The interweb is pretty handy stuff. And I found these things called telegraph insulators. And I said, hey, you know, I really think I might have some of those laying around somewhere. And sure enough, out in the garage, like every other good American, I had some Hemingway 42s up on a shelf. So that started me down the rabbit hole. I'm very fortunate. I've had a lot of great people take me under their wing. I'd have to say Bob Starr has done a lot for me because he's taught me a lot about Hemingway stuff. He is the #1 guy. First insulator was a Hemingway Blue Hemingway 42 CD 154, and it had the one on the dome. It was sharp drip points. My first show was the 2016 NIA National in Muncie, Indiana. My policy is no insulator left behind. So they're all great in their own right. I remember my first show. I remember finding like $15 insulators at antique stores, and I thought that was cream of the crop, top shelf stuff. And I remember picking up some kind of signal on Daryl Wagner's table, and I go, man, this thing's cool. How much is this? And I just pick it up, and he goes, $2,400. And I set it back down. I had no idea those things could be worth that kind of money. You know, that was when I realized that this was a serious hobby. You know, so I started out specializing in Hemingway, and I wanted, if you try to get one of every Hemingway, you'll end up in a padded cell. So I decided I want one of every Hemingway style number. Number one cable, #1 high voltage. That kind of thing I wanted to run. And then I started expanding into, oh well, I want a Hemingway go with. Now I want ashtrays and the water bottles and all that sort of thing. So Hemingway was my main specialty, and then I hit sort of a cap there. I don't have everything, but everything in my budget for now. So I expanded into everything Indiana insulator related. Square D porcelain out of Peru. We've got KCGW out of Fairmount, Indiana. Albert Statterman's Universal Insulator, the fire plugs, they were out of Terre Haute, Indiana. I've done some research on some other local glass companies that I think made insulators in Indiana. We just haven't found them yet. The Wagner Glass Company was in Ingalls, Indiana, and I know for a fact that they made this little thing called the American Insulator. Nobody's ever found one yet, but I know they're out there. I'd give my left arm for one of those. And he also invented an insulator press for regular pen type insulators, and they're out there somewhere. I really believe that. So I'll find one of these days. I've had a lot of great stuff come through my hands, and I love to see it in other people's collections. Man, yeah, sometimes I wish I had that back, but most of the time I can see that somebody else is enjoying it more than I was able to appreciate it, and that makes it all worthwhile. The best part of this hobby is not porcelain, glass, anything along those lines. It's the camaraderie. The friendships that you make are lifelong. All of my best friends are insulator collectors. Even if I only see them once or twice a year at insulator shows, they're my best friends. It's like a second family. You just can't beat it.